Alright, back again. So, I was just thinking about something else, also on bodily woman-ish tip. So, okay, just in case you are watching this video, not the other ones, I am talking about abstinence, and because I'm celebrating 13 years of abstinence today, so I've just been making videos about little things that I noticed or things that I wanted to share. And so, I'll share it in another video. So something I noticed about my body, and again, I'm sharing this from a woman's perspective because I'm a woman. Around year 2 or 3, so I used to always use like tampons and things like that. Okay. Oh, sidebar. I don't know if I should put a warning up here. Whatever. We all grown. We should be grown using this app, but we're all grown. And if you're a guy watching, you can stay, but you know, I ain't gonna get too graphic. I'm classy, but it may be womanly things you never even heard of. So, around year 3, I noticed that, you know, using tampons were actually painful, and so I actually had to stop using them. I'm like, okay, I can't do anything. So cut to the last video I was mentioning about sex toys and throwing those away and all that stuff. That just followed, like, okay, I can't do anything like that. So on a biological tip, I'm not a nurse yet. I am going to go to nursing school. Hopefully I can start that this year, next year. Anywho, but on a biological tip, this is just me being a plain old woman. There are some things that will happen that you will notice about yourself, and at first it will freak you out. Like, initially when that happened, I was so freaked out. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna close up and I can't use this anymore, girl. And if you ain't shade to say, girl, I thought the same thing, leave a comment, DM me, whatever. But it's all good, it's all cool. I remember one nurse, or equivalent, not nurse equivalent, but one person in medical field told me, well, girl, you just going back to factory standards, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh. But real talk, it's nothing to be like fearful of. But I will say this: if you are have been starting your abstinence journey, and you're one of those people like, hey, I need to know the biological stuff first, because if you a hypochondriac or something, and one thing changed, you be like, oh my god, go to the doctor. Talk with them, ask them all the questions you need before you freak out, pass out, girl. But yeah, that's something that happened, excuse me, on the biological tip. And then so on the other side of that, cut to 13 years, actually the last 3 years, I noticed that, like, during the time of ovulation, like, now it's cool to talk about ovulation and all this stuff, and how I'm just gonna say how feral women can feel and do, because I'm like, that is something biological that happens. Now I will say this, and I don't want to talk about it too deeply, because I'll find myself getting angry and talking indignant, but I cannot stand when fellow Christians, pastors, deacons, whatever they want to call themselves, will shame a woman to being abstinent, or shame a woman and tell a woman like, oh, that's nothing but lust, or that's all, or a woman with a high sex drive, you ain't nothing but lustful, you need deliverance, first of all, God made everything on this earth. He made the dude who had the idea to make the telephone, and then he had another dude, gave him the idea to make an iPhone. He had made the trees, he made the ecosystem, he made all that, and we're part of that too. He made women to have these sex drives. He made women to ovulate. He made women for our bodies just know what to do. Think about it. You don't 1 second tell your lungs to breathe. You don't tell your eyes to blink. You don't tell your nose, okay, Breathe this in. Now exhale. We don't do that. We don't have to do that. That's how cool God is. He just said, all right, woman. He said, ooh, ecosystem. That's how I go. He said, ooh, woman, that's how it's going to be. And so when I hear fellow Christians saying a woman needs deliverance for having a healthy sex drive and having an actual successful and healthy ovulation cycle, it trips me out. I get pissed off. I'm like, dude, first of all, I rebuke everything you're saying, because God made me a woman, and it's such a blessing that I wouldn't want to be nothing else, child. Men have it so rough out here, my God. But God made, and that's something I had to even tell myself. I know, so I was saying the last 3 years, I noticed that during ovulation, I was feeling feral, like, oh my God, I could slide down a pole right now. that's on the real talk. But I remember having a thought like, oh, is something wrong with me? Am I being lustful? And God immediately shut that down. He's like, no. Your body, this is a biological thing. I created biology not for me, but I created even the concept of biology for you all, so you can understand yourself. Because I understand you already. I made you, and I know you. And so I'm like, thank you, God, that I have an ear for him and I can understand him. And he immediately wiped any bits of shame that's trying to creep up in there regarding that. So, yeah, if you are a woman and you're like, okay, I want to be abstinent, or maybe you're just starting your abstinence journey and you're noticing your body, you're noticing right away. Now, for me, it didn't happen right away. I did know, well, I take that back. I did notice, like, during ovulation, I become more and more frisky, more wanting to be more frisky. Ooh, the street lights just came on. But in these last 3 years, it's very noticeable. I'm like, oh my God, do I need to drive down a bumpy street? But you know what? Okay, cut back serious. If you are a woman beginning your abstinence journey, or you're already on it and you're having thoughts like, oh, maybe I'm lustful, maybe I need deliverance. Maybe you need to stop listening to these whack ass preachers, teachers, or whoever the hell they call themselves. They're trying to tell you you're lustful, and they are actually speaking against the way that God made you. How about that? You do that. All right, bye.